Did a dry sip run of flour? Stick all the
Alright,
heads off?
let's
Weird
get
looking
us a
shit. And
warm
sometimes
up
you think
in
maybe it wasn't
real
cured proper,
quick
or the
before
trim
we
wasn't
fuck with a
good,
lead
or
game, you
something. But a
dig?
lot of times it'll end up being PGR flour, and that's not good. And so there's natural ones. Like, again, we should get somebody on who's more of an expert than I am, bro science with you. But doing a natural way, like a PK booster in flour, can be something that could potentially help. But using PGRs is definitely not the way to go. I'd rather have a bunch of fluffy lead than dense bullshit PGR flour.
Yeah, the one that you're referring to, so there are natural PGRs, right? And I agree. We should get an expert on here to talk about them all. I can never say
right here, guys.
Plactrobutrazol.
That's why we did the expert. I can't even say half the names.
Plactro. I think a lot of people refer to it as, but that is going to be the one that it relates to cancer. So I believe they're allowed to use it for like succulents and plants like that.
Yeah.
Control the height. Yeah, right.
Tyler Murray. Right, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sports coverage of the NFL has us at newly named State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel.
You get the rock first.
As the Cards get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports.
Good field position.
Way up at the 17. And they got it up past the 35. So pretty good starting field position.
Like, looser one, the uglier one, you know what I'm saying? The one wasn't quite as good. It had more turps, in my opinion. But the difference between the same genetic of the variables within the phenotypes is pretty dramatic. And I see that myself, too. My headbanger is more dense than the first one that I got that yielded way heavier. And it just feels like if you don't target that first, you can't have these building blocks of all the things you touched on. So the pheno hunt is super crucial. I've got a few right now that are just tasty that I'm willing to deal with them being fluffy, and I want to see what I can do to modify it with the things we talked about here. But
so from the 36 now, first and 10.
It's just going to be a little bit fluffier, but even if you do everything to the T, it's just a slightly, I wouldn't say airy, not fluffy with fox tail, but it's not going to be.
He's going to get him over the 42. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
How stable the genetics are as well, right? And how far down they are down the line. If you have like an F1 or an F2, like I gave you F2s of the Chiller OG, and I commented on your video yesterday actually. And one of the things is there are so many different phenotypes and F2s, right? So you get so many variables there as far as characteristics. So I crossed over.
All right, we got our shit together. Let's do it.
Lengthy strain, typical OG, very stretchy, but dense buds, nice, frost level.
All right, Brad, I know we're early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And that, dense bud structure, frosty. So you should see the dense bud structure and frosty throughout. But as far as like the size, it should be. You could see things all over the place due to the different phenos and ones you planted. So that's one of the reasons why.
First down carry by Elliott.
Because
good block, baby. He must have picked the fucked up play. We'll take it.
I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
Good look at our man. Oh, yeah. He picked some bullshit. So we'll make the same mistakes.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
D-up, baby.
It just really depends on the breeder, which again, you have the breeder, which is great. And then also, again,
now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
The herbs have just kicked in.
Some characteristics will sacrifice
Daniels on the return.
Takes
us near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
Fluffy, it just will be. And so getting more of that is going to be the key then. It's not going to be getting it tighter. It's going to be how can I multiply what I have. And usually that's where the plant training can come in to get more blood sites. those will potentially be harder because there's going to be lower buds that weren't nearly as mature, and those will be airy nothing. Like, won't amount to shit. Where now you can pull them down, then they get a lot more.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10
so,
at their own
putting all these
26.
things together, that's the secret sauce, in my opinion. The Rangers.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll fight forward to back at 27-yard line. Tackled there by Leighton Vander Esch.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Good shit.
Way down to the 20. Say, what parts of it does it take until it's fully restored? Everything. That includes the interior, the exterior, the engine, the paint. Everything needs to come together. And while you're working on it, you're specializing. You're learning how to control each and every one of those parts. The engine, the training, the paint, the nutrients. It's all coming together. As you get to the finish line,
after
you
the
look
first
back
down
at
sack. Murray, and a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I'm trying to think if we're forgetting anything. If we're forgetting anything, let us know in the comment section on YouTube. Definitely
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's left with no option here.
Good D, fellas. Good D.
This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
As mentioned earlier, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, we do record these live on the live digital audience over on twitch.tv/From the Stash podcast. Twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, about 2 p.m. Central Standard, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 12 Pacific. Did I get that? Yes. Yeah. Look at that, guys. If we did miss anything, as we can't
Not yet, fellas.
Leave it in the comment section, as always. And for those on Twitch, stick around, because we're going to have a live session.
Murray sets to throw on 4th.
Oh, for sure.
Good D.
What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Now in a 1st down and more. And some space here.
We'll take it.
Prior to going out of bounds. 81 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
We've had a number of catastrophes with different suppliers. When you find a really clean product, it makes a big difference. You want to talk about it. And the reason why
with Pollard here on 1st down.
is the abundance of this particular element.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Pay attention. We're going to go down a rabbit hole.
This offense is locked in right now.
They're having no trouble on this drive. Is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
You talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to the end zone real fast.
Let's see, I've been in Montana.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 41.
That's when we discovered this line.
To throw is Prescott. And he finds his target at Schultz. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
They would put in their gardens and their vegetables. You could just see the serving his gardens, and I was just blown away. So
after 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Really convinced me that this was a great product. And in the long run, we ended put me two garbage and two rows. And my old partner and I decided to get into this model. And so we started Montana Grow. And we would purchase the product from the old miner, Bob Wheeler. He was an old Navy guy who got his
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
For about 5-6 years, we had the
Again, it's to Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Elliott.
Way to fall forward.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Doesn't typically take place off the top. Now that's subject to Spurs. It comes out the side. In this particular
now Prescott.
This volcano actually came out the side.
Way to hold on to that rock, baby.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure out of the passer.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke.
Okay, then.
Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal. It's a tackle made at the 10-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Good shit.
At the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Calling goes, I want to talk to you about my tomato plants.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
But he was really exuberant. He's happy.
They'll try again with Elliott.
Damn, I ran right to him. Good shit.
Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
He was from the very beginning talking about remineralization and the volcanic rock material versus the glacial material and some of that information. And he would also send me papers on silica. This is one of them from like a decade ago that he sent me. This is from 2010, and it's called Silica, the hidden cost of minerals. I just pulled it out so you can go look up that article and read about it. And so that's why we're looking at it from potting soil side too, because heavy metals is one of the considerations that's popped up recently.
Prescott on 3rd and goal.
Flour product.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys.
And that's good.
Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
There's tons of information about silica, mitigation, uptake, heavy metals.
So Ryan connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Excessive in copper, and it causes problems. Montana Grow can mitigate, or silicon can mitigate that. And Montana Grow is
now after the touchdown in Zerline, they'll kick it away.
And a book that I really like, that Alan Atkinson turned me on to, called Minerals for the Genetic Code.
Set to return it, here's more.
Great.
That brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
That's really what we're going to focus on. But if you look at silicon, like it's a very conductive material, it makes super tight bonds with things. And so when we think about energy flow, which I do want to discuss, there's a reason why it's heavily used when we're talking about moving energy.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once it threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we could go and go and Finish things off.
You have
That's
the
the
same
only way you
action
get
that we
it done.
have when we talk about these things, adding into the soil. You take it,
And he's out of bounds, able to
that's
take
not
this
soil.
one up
You
to
add a
the
little bit of
35.
compost, it's not there yet. You gotta
The last
pull
drive,
shit.
remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Murray now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
To throw again on second down. Murray.
Wow. Good looking out.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Silicon is a natural aluminum deterrent. Even though rock dust have aluminum in it, the silica acts as a deterrent. And so nature's found these ways to have this duality, which is very, very interesting.
Now
Silicon
Murray
is a
off
natural
play
deterrent.
action.
This mineral is high in
To
the
it,
genetic
and a big
sequencing
loss here as he's taken down. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground.
Tissues such as the skin,
We've
hair,
watched this a long
nails,
time,
and
and I
tendons.
still
It
don't believe
reinforces
we get
membranes
it.
throughout
Third
the
and
body as
long.
well
Why are
as
you
the
calling play
ligaments,
action?
tissue,
Because they're not going to play
arterial walls,
defensively, right?
blood
Good game, bro. Good game.
Explained to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly and it leads to a play action sack. Now, how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. It's Murray on the move to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball. Boy, a real head scratcher there. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
But I encourage you to look at many different sources because within agriculture, silicon is
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Like across the board, ubiquitous. It's very, very important. And I think that's
There's Prescott.
Build the soil. One of the things we really like to do is find those.
Quick slant. He's got Elliott.
Almost.
And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to earn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel.
And I want to discuss some of that. So,
Good game, bro.
That's the human side. I want to also read really briefly this article, which I encourage you to look up, Silica, the Hidden Cost of Chemicals. I'm not going to go too far. If you Google this, it'll pop up right away, and there is just so much information about abiotic stress and disease and pest resistant. The intro to this, it's funny, I pulled it up on my computer, and he recognized it from across the office.
Let's go ahead and get this league
It's the one
game.
he sent me over a decade ago, and that's why I want to just read the intro. A major mineral is missing in many soils, and most soil tests do not even monitor its presence. This mineral can increase stress resistance, boost photosynthesis and chlorophyll content, improve drought resistance, salt tolerance, and soil fertility, and prevent lodging. It can also reduce insect pressure, frost damage, and destructive disease while lowering irrigation rates, neutralizing heavy metal toxicity, and countering the negative effects of excess sodium. If I were to tell you that this same missing mineral can increase root growth, boost yield, and enhance crop quality, you could well ask, how